Hello and welcome to the Walk in Love podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we are going to have a...
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes?
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No.
Thank you for
Episode?
listening.
I feel like it's
No, it's episode. Yeah, there we go.
I feel like we
Nice.
need the word
Yeah,
episode.
I crushed it.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. The Walk in Love podcast is a weekly conversation between Brooke and I
That's me.
about rhythms, faith, emotions, parenting, etc. It's a place where we laugh and sometimes cry as we try to find language to live a full life.
Yes. And if you like your listening to line up with your living, then you are in
The
the
right
right
place.
You're in the right place.
You're in the right place. This feels, I'm not going to lie, right now I feel like a little deja vu of like early podcast. I feel like we got some early podcast energy tonight.
Ooh. Is it because we have no plan
We have
whatsoever?
literally no plan at all, which was episodes 1 through
What the-
1 through 170.
Yeah.
So you're here for it, and I know
like
you're
it.
here for it. And we have a sponsor today, which is us, as always. And today's sponsor is Brooke.
It's me?
Well, no, that,
Comma,
yeah,
Brooke.
Brooke.
Like a lead in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just trying to set you up.
Sorry. I was like, me? What
Yeah.
about me?
It's just Brooke.
It's just me. Guys, I'm just here.
Creed. It's just Creed. This one just says Creed. Yeah, that's all inclusive.
No, today's sponsor is Moms on Maui, which we are so close.
So close.
to it happening. We have just a couple spots left in week 2.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I sent out some final detail questionnaires, I guess. Yeah. Today to everybody in group 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me psyched,
Super psyched.
super psyched. Because I needed to know some things. I need to know how they take their coffee. I need to know if they have any like food or dietary preferences.
Yes.
I wanted to know, I said, please select all that apply of what you might like to do while you're here. To which everybody responded, how do I check all of the above?
Oh, wow.
So I added a box that
Nice.
says all of the
Smart,
above,
smart,
baby. with a bunch of Ys.
Smart.
And it was getting me pumped.
Yeah, so we have spots available in the second week, which
Mhm.
is October 19th through the 24th, I believe.
Yep.
That's the right dates. Yep.
Yep.
And I don't know. I want to try something new
Ooh, yeah.
for the podcast. I told you about this earlier.
No, I'm kidding. I know.
Yeah. From now until the end of the year.
Mm.
So I'm going to call it TJ's Christmas Giving Extravaganza.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I'm starting the Christmas giving early
Wow.
in September
Yes.
because why not?
Why not?
Literally, why not? And so every week on the podcast, I'm going to give special, somewhat random deals.
Okay.
So, like, I might say, okay,
You're just like willy-nilly guy.
Yeah,
You're just saying, here we go.
Yeah, I just like they're going to be limited.
Okay.
So it's going to be like I'm going to give out a code,
Okay.
and it'll be like the first 10 people to use the code will
X.
get X. You know,
Okay.
it could be a T-shirt, it could
or
be
get Y.
or Y.
Yeah.
What
What about Z?
Z as well. It'll be like, it could be a T-shirt, it could be the tea of the month, it could be something from the collection, it could be a ticket to the extravaganza,
Something new.
it could be something totally brand new, super amazing and the best thing ever. But for this week, it's going to be something extra special
Okay.
to kick it off.
Mm.
I truly believe that Moms on Maui, which again isn't just for moms, it's just
Right.
for ladies. In the traditional sense, biological females. Hopefully, we don't have to preface that with this audience, but I'm just going to anyways. I believe that there is a mom lady out there
Mm-hmm.
who, well, let me backtrack a little bit. I believe that Moms on Maui is going to be a core memory event for some of these ladies.
Mm.
Like,
Hopefully all of them. but
hopefully all of
yes.
them. Yeah. But like some probably more than others.
Right,
But I do think that like there is sort of like a transformational power that happens when you travel,
Yeah.
especially on your own. And especially when you're in a season of like tiny little kids who literally never stop asking you questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like as these moms take a step away, there's going to be this like very like, I hope life-giving joyful experience that re-energizes them. We've talked about this before. To go home and fight the good fight. God has given you your unique family, which is beautiful and amazing. And I think that there are times when we have a unique gift. It can feel like sort of like, you ever bought someone like a weird gift that's hard to wrap?
Yeah.
And you're just like, how do I wrap this? Like, it's really weird and clunky. And we can kind of feel like that sometimes as we parent kids and do jobs and, all this kind of stuff. So my hope and our hope for Moms on Maui is that this is very life-giving, re-energizing time for you moms to go home and fight the good fight. And so I think that there are a few moms out there who are like, maybe just on the cusp of it's just a little bit too out of the price range. It might be too expensive. And so my first gift in the TJ's giveaway Extravaganza Supreme,
I like the name changes.
All America, go, 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 fight, 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 is a discount to Moms on Maui.
Yeah.
Could be half off, could be 25% off, could be a couple $100 off, like whatever it is that you need to get you here for the second dates, apply and just let me know. And I'm gonna see
somewhere in the application.
There's no spot for it. There's no all of the above spot. And I'm not gonna change it tonight. And so, but just I just feel like there might be one or two of you who are like just on the fence. And so we want you here. We want you to experience that sort of rest and peace that God has for you. And it's going to be the first kickoff of the TJ's Ultimate Extreme Extravaganza.
I love it.
So
can I apply?
Yeah, you can apply.
Okay,
you already
cool.
got the discount. You can stay.
Yes.
So Moms on Maui, second dates in the show notes or walkandlove.com/store. We'll get you there as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
So yeah, we're stoked. It's coming up soon. And we're like kind of feeling the Moms on Maui vibes a little the last 2 weeks because we've had months ago, we mentioned, hey, we're going to let strangers stay in our house. And there's 2 downstairs right below us right now. And there were 2 downstairs last week when we were recording. And so back-to-back visitors. And it's been so fun.
Yeah.
We had Shane and Becca first. Shout out to Shane and Becca.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just hit it off.
Do you think their group name is Sheka? No.
Bane. Ooh.
No. That's why I went the other way.
And
kind of like Shaka, but not.
Yeah, but different.
But like
more like
Becca.
with like an Oklahoma vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Oklahoma vibe from Shane and Becca. I don't know what that means. And
Does it just mean that's where you live?
Yeah, that's just where they're from.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a ton of fun with them. They stayed, they explored Maui during the day, and then at night we just like hung out and chatted and like it was at one point. So I'll tell one story about them. I don't think they'll mind.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what story you're about to tell.
So they come, in Hawaii, you leave your shoes at the door. Yeah. And so that, we're all barefoot in the house. I notice that one of them, Becca, has feel grounds or some sort of barefoot shoe. Because I've gone down the barefoot shoe rabbit hole.
Right.
So like, essentially the rabbit hole is this. The shoes that we wear scrunch our toes.
Right. I think we've talked about this, but I'm not positive.
Okay. But I'm going to talk about it again.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I do think we've at least mentioned
they scrunch your toes.
Right.
And so, your foot ends up kind of getting deformed.
Or at least when it comes to like flexibility and mobility.
And so like we're supposed to have a wide toe base. You should have a wide toe box for your shoes, all this kind of stuff. I've gone down the rabbit hole. I ordered one pair of shoes. They didn't fit. I sent them back. That's as far as I've gotten.
Right.
So, but thankfully we live here. And so we're barefoot most of the time, which is really good for your body. And I've actually noticed now that when I put shoes on.
Yeah, I can't wear my house shoes anymore.
Yeah, I can't do house shoes.
It ends up really making my feet hurt.
Yeah.
And those are comfortable shoes.
Yeah. So barefoot shoes are like wider toe box, more flexible. And because I've like been targeted for every ad from every company, I recognize the brand. And I said, I see you guys wear barefoot shoes. What other kind of weird stuff are you into? Because like
you always have to classify it as weird.
Well,
I wouldn't say that's weird.
It's a conspiracy. Like we're all parts of conspiracies.
Yeah.
And the barefoot shoe community is part of a conspiracy.
Okay.
So
we won't even hear them coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're nimble and probably flexible. And so,
It's great mobility.
They could be in a tree above you right now and you would never know. And so it just launched into this conversation that went all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Turns out they sleep on some sort of Japanese mattress called a kimono or a kimono.
No, a kimono's a dragon.
Yeah. I think that's what it's named after. Because of the way the kimono dragon sleeps.
Right.
They invented this mattress sort of like
that makes sense.
kind of mirror. And so it was just like, I just loved that conversation.
Yeah.
I was all in on it.
I love it.
And I loved how Shane and Becca like didn't hold back. There wasn't like a moment where they were like,
we probably shouldn't tell people about that.
And I was just like, this is great.
I love it.
And so our guest got here tonight or last night.
And you said, hey, how weird are you?
I said, what kind of weird stuff are you guys into? I just feel like the language that Jeremy gave us as like, we're a part of a conspiracy. I love that. I just love it in all areas of life.
Yeah.
Like, because it's true. Like, you know, we're all conspiring in some way to like, hopefully be doing life better than maybe some of like that.
Not really. It's not really about
like a competition,
being better,
but like that we've kind of just like
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, it's super fun. And we're going to try to like figure out how to do people staying here. Like, I don't have a good system for it, but I definitely like it.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool to like both groups already have done things that I haven't done on Maui.
Yeah, I know.
And like tomorrow they're going ziplining. And I'm like, well, tell me how it is, because that would be fun.
Yeah. I actually don't know if I'd like that.
I think I would love it.
I think you would love it.
I love that for you.
I love it for you. I can't say I'm super interested.
Yeah.
But I have a conspiracy
that
I'm part of.
Tell me.
It's new in the last 48 hours. So.
Oh, this is hot goss.
This is hot goss, but I think
breaking news.
Part of a conspiracy.
Brooke's about to break some news.
Okay. So let me preface by saying I know nothing and care very little about the celebrity world. Yes. I've never watched The Bachelorette or The Kardashians or
Name one other show that would be in that world. So you can't
Bachelor?
Even. Okay. Name another one. You can't even. Because you're so far removed from that.
Know. Does Love Island? I think I saw
Love
that
Island
on Netflix.
On
one
Netflix,
time.
yep.
Like the
never watched it.
But I saw the headline.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am shook to my core.
Okay.
Because I found out yesterday.
As did most of the
Timothy
Chalamet ding dong
is dating Kylie Jenner, Kardashian. See, I think her name's Jenner, but she's part of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I don't care about either of these people. I don't know anything about him.
Don't know anything about him.
Here's what I do know. He is so much smaller than her. I can't get over it. I'm just shook.
You're shook.
And people get together all the time. People break up all the time.
Celebrities especially.
I don't care. I'm shook that I'm shook. Because like I keep thinking about it. And so here's my conspiracy.
Okay. Well, first, before you get into your conspiracy, yesterday we're at a birthday party.
You're at a birthday party.
I'm at a birthday party.
I'm sick.
Jeff is there. And he's Jeff Bethke. And he's like, guys,
this is a 4-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah, 4-year-old's birthday party. It's like me, Jeff, Ian, Brandon, like a bunch of guys just sitting around like we're talking about all sorts of stuff. And then Jeff's like, hey, did you guys see the big news? And we're like, no, what? He's like, I don't know if anybody cares about this, but Kylie Jenner is dating Timothy Chalamet. Literally, no one replied. Like, it was not the crowd for it.
No.
But, you know, Jeff's all in.
Yeah.
If I know one thing about Bethke is that he's all in on any news that he's delivering, and I love it. I'm totally here for it. And so that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. What's your conspiracy?
I'm convinced. I mean, I don't know Timmy, but...
You don't even know how to say his last name.
No, Chalamet. Here's, if I had to paint with a broad brush, okay?
Paint.
I'm going to paint Timmy with a broad brush. Okay. I feel from his Instagram, which I've been on maybe twice before yesterday when I was shook. And so now 3 times.
Now it's my homepage.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. I need more information. I would say he's like he's a big star, but like he gives off this very, I'm really cool and I'm kind of in like indie films and maybe I smoke clove cigarettes and I eat baguettes in France and like I wear sweaters and like.
He's definitely drinking espresso out of the tiny cup.
Yes. Like
100%. Yeah.
and that's, you do you, Tim.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Live your life, Tim.
But I am like, my brain cannot compute that very curated online persona
Okay.
with drippy lip Kylie. That's like what her company logo is. Have you ever seen that? Her like Kylie Cosmetics, which is just like lips that look like they're dripping. Do you not know what the logo looks
Is that
like?
like a real nickname for her?
No,
Or
I
you
just came up with it. I am sorry, but I can't do it. Guys, I can't.
It just doesn't make sense.
It
So
doesn't.
what's your conspiracy?
That he's method acting and it's all fake. And we're going to find out 2 years from now that he's in some documentary that was like, see guys, even I don't know. I don't know what the point of the documentary is yet.
Or is he method acting for like a role? So like, like
Ooh.
Dune, he's in Dune.
That already came out. Maybe
But
like
this-
Willy Wonka too.
Or he is the new Wonka. So
He is the new Wonka.
So,
Maybe he
like-
thought, I'm really going to
Or
need
like-
to get my head in the game before I get picked up for Willy Wonka 2.
What's the premise of Wonka 2 that he's needs to date Kylie drippy lip for?
Well,
Or is it like, is there a spin-off of Dune
ooh,
and it's like the Real Housewives of Arrakis?
there you go. There's so many options, but I'm not convinced that it's real. I mean, it's real. I've seen it, but like, I keep thinking about it.
Which is funny because like, again, Brooke could really honestly
Couldn't care less.
couldn't care less about any sort of celebrity happening. Okay. Then here's my question.
Okay.
Since we're now like a pop culture podcast,
Mm.
which celebrity better fits? Who would be a better match for old Tim?
Like what's her face that he's in all the movies with? Seorson.
Schwade, Quabity.
No. She's in Lady Bird. She's in
Okay.
Little Women with him.
Yep,
She's
yep.
in like all the movies with him.
Okay. Better
she
fit.
has the accent.
Yeah, I don't know her
She's
name.
very talented. However you say her name.
Okay.
I've heard her say her name.
Her cosmetic company does not have drippy lips.
No, I'm sure it's classy.
Just super classy cosmetics.
Classy.
Seorson's
be.
classycosmetics.com.
Sayor. Guys, I don't have my phone this time. So
Samsonite. I knew it started with an S though. Okay. Anybody else? If we're matching up to
anybody else.
any
Literally anybody else. Well, I mean, yeah.
maybe not Kim.
No, because that's now
Yeah.
we're going age and size. I can't handle that. I just like, and I
This
get
is
it.
showing some of your prejudice.
People
You
have-
think that a smaller guy can't date a
See,
larger
and that's
woman?
what I was just about to say.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Wow, Brooke. You prejudiced woman.
No, but I know people already have hot takes about him
Okay.
because they're like, why does everybody love him? He looks like a very young little boy. And he does. But I also kind of get it because I'm like, I think he's very talented.
Do
And
I need
think,
to fight Tim?
Well, I think you'd win.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on how big his baguette is and how much espresso he's had. Like, I don't know.
Maybe that's his move.
He throws the
Throw the
espresso,
espresso in the face.
and then slaps you with the baguette.
You're disoriented, and now
then
he
he says,
disappeared into the crowd.
Look at my sweater. He doesn't have an accent, but I think he could pull off an accent.
Right.
Probably. I do think he's very talented, and I've enjoyed him in almost everything I've seen him
Yeah.
in. I can't say the same for Kylie. Yeah,
All right. Well, we'll put a poll up.
that's living out there in the world
We'll
right
put
now.
a poll up
Okay.
and see if everybody's as shook as you are.
I'm not saying I'm totally disapproving. I'm shocked.
Right. I'm going to go out on a limb with my next statement.
Oh,
This
wow.
is kind of a bold sort of
Okay.
statement.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that it's not going to last.
Ooh,
I'm just going to go
don't speak
way
that
out
over them.
on that limb
You're pretty far out. Yeah.
and say that a Hollywood relationship between two mega celebrities
Mm-hmm.
doesn't last.
Mm.
That's just me though. You know,
Yeah. Look at you and your prejudice.
I hope the best. I wish them well. I hope that they have a come to Jesus moment and live a multi-generational life fulfilled, glorifying the Lord and Savior.
Those are some high expectations.
That's what I hope.
Okay.
Those are my hopes and
Yeah.
dreams.
Mhm.
But if I was a betting man,
Mm.
I'd probably bet we got 2 weeks left.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that. I think literally the whole world's talking about them. And so they're like, hey, let's make
Could
out.
you imagine?
No. I actually was thinking about
Like,
it on the drive back
how
from the
do you-
grocery
how
store
do you-
about 30 minutes ago. because I text Jeff about it and he was like, okay, we need to talk about this. And so he was like, their PDA is intense. And I was like, I believe that though. Cause I imagine there'd be this moment, and I'm not saying I would do the same. I'm just saying like, there's part of me that gets
you wouldn't do the same
where like you think to yourself, are we really going to do this? The whole world is watching, quite literally.
Yeah.
Especially because they like came out as a couple at Beyonce's concert.
Oh,
so it was like a very planned big deal.
Okay.
At least that's what I understand. And so
I'm shocked.
Well, I don't know anything. That's why I'm like, this is all I know. But you think to yourself, the whole world's watching. And then you think, well, the whole world's watching. Let's give them a show. Right? Like, don't you think like it's your career? It's your, like, they are in the public eye as part of their jobs.
Which would line up for your conspiracy theory.
And so I think they're giving us a show. And the real show is going to be Willy Wonka 2. Just wait.
Featuring Kylie.
Featuring Kylie's candy.
Oh.
No. Anyway.
All right. Shook to your core. Okay.
Well, that's all I've got.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thanks for listening. Here's what I've got. Okay. So I am teaching Sunday school at church. I was initially just teaching Sunny's class because she was having a lot of hard time going. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to teach so she goes. And then June was like, hey, would you ever teach my class? And I was like, sure. And so now I'm spending 1 week with Sunny, 1 week with June, and then 1 week I'll teach like the little baby daisies. So I'm in the tweens room today.
Oh,
you know,
crazy that's what it is. Yeah. I'm like, she's technically not a tween.
Third to sixth grade is what it is. That's what they call tweens. Service goes great. And after the like message, we break them into small groups. There's a kid there who has a medal around his neck from
like a sports medal?
Sports medal, yes.
Oh, I'm into it.
Yeah, from the previous weekend.
Okay.
When right before the message starts, everyone have a good week. Like, hit me with some highlights. You know.
Yeah.
June raised her hand. We went to a birthday party. Jeff broke the news about Tim and Kylie. So like that's where I am. And then this kid is like, I was in a CrossFit competition and I got third place.
Oh, what's a third place
we're
medal?
In the medal. So like he's stoked.
Yeah.
So we break up into small groups. We're talking about like trials and like we're like there's questions that we're supposed to read. Yeah. My friend Caleb me and Caleb are co-leading.
Oh, okay.
The fifth and sixth grade boys. So it's like 6 of them. Metal kid is laying on a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
And he's like, what, Caleb's kind of reading. He's like, what kind of trials have you guys faced this week? He's like, hand pops up.
Yeah.
Well, like I was in a competition and so like it was just like a really trying trial to like see if I could win the competition.
Right.
And he's like, he's got his medal and he's like kind of dangling it around. And he's like, so like I was like in a trial and it's just like a competition that I was in. And like, okay, cool. Some other kids talk.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, the next question was like, it was like, I know I'm blanking on the questions, but like one was like, have you ever let anyone down or like ever had to ask for forgiveness for something that you've done wrong? And he's like, yeah. So like, like I was in a competition this weekend.
Yeah.
And CrossFit, and we, like I had a partner, and like she was really good at jump rope, and like I wasn't really good. So
ooh, let her down.
I just feel like I let her down, and like I'm not really that good at jump rope, and so I just feel like
how precious.
And Caleb's like, I don't think that's a sin, like
right, yeah.
And
just
so
jump rope, buddy.
We go around. Hey, does anyone have any prayer requests?
Oh,
hand goes straight up. Yeah, so like I got third place. And so at this point, like I can't help myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Did you have a competition this weekend? He's like, oh yeah. Like I was
T.
Caleb starts laughing. No one else gets it.
Yeah. No. He's like, finally, somebody noticed. Somebody noticed someone wearing this sweaty metal around my neck. It's like, there's no AC in here.
So my prayer request is like this guy always gets first, and like I want to get first.
Take him down.
It's
like, whoa.
And then there was one more that like
it just brought up every
time the hand popped up, and I just like there's part of me that's just like it. I remember like I never did that. I never wore a medal to school or church. But
You
I
did wear them to your graduation, though.
I did wear all of my medals to my graduation. I forgot I had a stopwatch.
You walked at your high school graduation.
I think they made me take them off. But so you know how like when you graduate high school, you get like the ribbon if you have like good grades. Like
Right.
there's like
tassels and
there's like
things.
accessories
I don't
to
remember
like
what they're called.
show how elite you are.
Right.
And then like there's like an honor society medal.
Okay.
I was
sure.
nowhere near any of these things.
I don't think I had
Just
any
a
of those.
plain blue smock.
Yeah. I kind of remember the tassel thing, but I
So
don't know if
I
that means
went
I
and
got
grabbed all the medals that I had from wrestling and all this kind of stuff. And then
Yeah.
like a stopwatch, and I was trying to wear them to walk in, and then
It's definitely in the pictures.
yeah, I definitely have a picture with it all, but they didn't allow me to actually do it. And so, yeah, but I think when I got to like line up, they made me take them all off.
Yeah.
But I did do a cartwheel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In your
so-
gown.
In my gown. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing you didn't have the medals on because they would have
Yeah.
hit your teeth so hard. I guess that's not.
High school graduate
Excuse me, I
loses
have the
tooth.
hiccups. I guess you've probably never done that. I remember wearing like, oh, I'm so cool. I'm a grown up, like chunky jewelry. It was
Okay.
probably my mom's. Like I don't even think
Yeah.
it was mine, but like thicker jewelry, and then jumping on the trampoline or doing a cartwheel or something, and it comes up and it nails you in the face.
Yep.
And then you regret the
I-
chunky.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
But like seeing this kid with his medal, I remember like when you'd go back to school shopping and you'd get like a few sweatshirts for
Yeah.
the year, but it's still like 100 degrees, 90% humidity in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But I would wear that sweatshirt to like
Yeah.
whatever friend's
First
house,
day of
and you're
school.
just like, just
So hot.
sweating. And I just like, there's something so sweet and innocent and just like life giving about kids just being all in.
hmm
And so like, while I was like, while I did crack a joke, I was just like, this kid's just here, just being fully himself.
hmm
And like, honestly, like that's all that matters to him right now. Is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And there's an element of it that I wish that I think we definitely lose as we grow up, that I wish we could recapture, of just like finding the sheer, and I do think we sort of recapture it as parents
hmm
a little bit with our children, but then there's also sort of like the fatigue and the exhaustion and all that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I do feel like as your kids get older, there is an element where you can kind of recapture it through them and sort of see the world fresh through their eyes. Like
Yeah.
when we went to this birthday party, there was a big old slide and
Like
What is
a blow up castle.
Yeah.
Or not castle, like a blow up slide, but it had water.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like June just like sunscreen, bam, straight to it the whole time. And then
Yeah.
I played on it for like 40 minutes and just like had the time of my life.
Yeah.
I was the big guy, and they were just all the kids kept trying to throw me down the slide. But yeah, that's kind of like, that was like my story this week of what happened, of just like,
That's
kid with the
so
medal.
good.
yeah, we haven't done a no notes in a while, Brooke.
I know.
So what's
I
going
don't
on? How
know.
was your
I
week?
feel like I haven't been feeling well.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, the amount that I've slept between last week's podcast and this week's is a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Like
the
a
altitude
lot.
poisoned me,
Right.
and I brought it home, and it poisoned you.
Right.
I don't know if that's how it works, but that's how it feels.
You brought something home, whatever it was. And so I'm actually finally feeling a little bit better today. I actually drank coffee today,
Oh,
which was
nice.
really nice because then I went out and power washed the driveway. So that was great.
That's cool.
I was like, whoa, this is what caffeine does. I forgot. I'm only a few days in and this is what caffeine does to my body. But yeah, I feel like that's literally mostly what I've been doing.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of trying to get better and
Yeah.
take care of kids who also sort of have a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I do also feel like right now, like we have a few episodes that we want to do,
Yes.
podcast wise,
Yeah.
that I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
We have integrated stuff that we're going to go through. We have another one that like I'm really excited about, and it just felt tonight.
Oh, I was like, my brain can't.
Yeah.
I can't do integrated and I can't do the other topic.
But I also feel, I know that we are sort of right now, like the fall collection happened.
Mhm.
Christmas is coming. The Christmas collection launches October 1st.
Wow.
It's big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of products,
Yeah.
a lot of great designs.
Yeah.
And then we're also working on something else.
Yeah.
something else.
Something else?
Okay, so there's in Mannheim, there's a pizza place called A&M Pizza.
Yeah.
And I think it has new owners now, or maybe, no,
I
actually.
don't think so.
I don't think it does, but I don't think that guy works. I think he's retired.
Maybe.
So the
I'm
guy
not
that
sure.
used to work there, like the main guy.
Answering the phone.
No matter what you ordered.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like, hey, I want a slice of pizza. Okay, something else?
Something else?
And he'd be like, okay, I guess, yeah, meatball sub.
I'll get us some fries.
Yeah.
And we'll take a small
something else.
hoagie.
But like, even if you were to call and be like, okay, I want 30 pizzas, 15 2-liters, 14 subs.
Right. Doesn't matter how big the order was.
6 dozen wings.
Yeah. Okay,
something else.
Yeah.
I wonder how much more in sales they've done because of
literally,
that line.
yeah,
Yeah, and you're just
see?
like, I guess I do.
It's like brilliant marketing 101.
just-
And we just think he's on autopilot.
No, but yeah, we have something else that's cooking. And
I know we keep saying it.
I feel like it's re-energized Brooke.
Yeah.
Not that you were like not energized, but I do feel like it's kind of like opened up a new area of excitement for you that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's been encouraging, not because like we're burnt out or anything like that. But there does, as you do things over and over again, and I'm sure all of you feel this in some regard, whether it's work or parenting or whatever. Their apathy seeps in, and I don't mean like bad apathy, like you stop caring, but like,
well, yeah, I
maybe
mean,
it's
even
more
just
like autopilot.
There, yes, I was gonna say it's more just like I've done this how many times. It doesn't mean it's bad every time it happens, but it's just like
autopilot seeps in, and you become sort of like low power mode or screensaver mode, just because like it becomes easy and second nature. And so I do see the value. I'm reminded of the value of starting fresh things, doing new things, finding new things, discovering new things. And it doesn't even have to be work related.
Right.
Like I felt the same sort of invigoration when I started doing CrossFit again. Like it was like, oh, this is like a new thing. Like I'm excited about it. And so I'm trying to get that way about stretching. Trying to force my brain into feeling
I love stretching.
I love stretching.
He says that.
I love it. I don't know if I've told you lately, but I love stretching.
I love it
it's just
so much.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But I feel that this sort of new thing that's coming has really reinvigorated you in a way that I guess I didn't realize I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like we definitely felt that when we moved.
Right.
Like we were like sort of, this is exciting. This is new. This is great.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, then we just kind of get back into the swing of life. And
right. Yeah. Well, it's like that. I can't remember if we've had this conversation. I know Jeremy talked about it at The Best Is Yet to Come, but like how we were made for like sameness and change. That like it can't be the same all the time.
Yeah.
It just can't. We'll go bananas.
Yeah.
But it also can't change all the time because, oh my goodness, we'll go bananas. And so it's like we need this kind of like fluctuation back and forth, or like this balance of both. And I didn't realize that is kind of that I was needing somebody who craves so much sameness was needing a little bit of change.
And I don't, and the change is hard to come by. It doesn't just happen naturally.
Right.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah. I guess it kind of depends on.
But I do think
what?
that like the sameness happens more by default. I don't think that like change and newness happens by default. And so you do have to find ways to work it into your life and like almost like shock your system.
I feel like especially once you have kids, and then if you start to really lock into your kids' schedules, like a lot of this sameness, like, well, we do this and it's the school year, even if you're homeschooling, like it just kind of starts to, and that's great. There's so much wonderful rhythm to that. It's not a complaint, but it is like, oh man, if we want to change something up, or if we want to feel like, okay, let's try something different. Like I do feel like we have to, at least speaking for ourselves, be more and more and more intentional.
To just
all
like
the
kind
time.
of, give your system a little shock. And, and that's hard because as adults, you don't want to be bad at something. You don't want to, and I know that's especially hard for you.
Yeah.
Like that's not so hard for me. Like I can be bad at something and just to try it.
Right. That sounds so unfun.
Yeah. But if you don't try it, how would you know that it's going to like invigorate you or get you excited about life or like,
Yeah.
peel back another layer of the onion.
Right.
And so you almost have to try it
Yeah.
and be bad at it.
Yeah. I mean, there's like certain areas of life where I just know myself well enough. Like it's not a cop out. It's just a genuine, like, I know who I am and I've been this way a long time and it is who I am. I'm just not interested in XYZ.
Right.
I don't want to try that. But then there's many, many, many other areas where I'm just like, yeah, I need to be okay with like not being great at it. Maybe ever.
Mm-hmm.
The point is to just like try something different, stretch myself, grow a little bit.
Yeah, like stretch. Like I love stretching. Like
I love stretching.
I get that. I love stretching
so much.
Yeah, like you kind of know that like, and I've kind of given up on this, but like any of the sort of like physical fitness routes, like you're not going to fall in love with it.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
So like that's not going to be your lane to like find the the newness that like kind of excites you. But some of them other things, there's other categories, cooking, like when you find like a new sort of like style of food that you want to try making or like
that is fun.
Art.
I was gonna say some sort of like
anything for you that like, which is weird. This is like a unique Brooke one, but like thrifting really did that for you.
Yeah.
Where it was like the potential of finding a treasure.
Yeah.
Really like brings you to life.
Yeah.
And so
potential,
yeah.
Just potential, period.
That's true.
Is like I don't struggle to see potential or find potential or see it and act on it and like build it out. And so, yeah.
And that's I guess the good thing to know. Like what is the thing that like that lights a spark? And for you, knowing that it's potential, oh, that's really good. I'm like unlocking this as we go.
Oh, yeah. But I also like, don't lose where you're going. Okay. But like, I know that about myself enough that I also know to keep it in check because I can see potential in anything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We should renovate this giant thing. That's a total dump. And I can see it now. And the truth is I really can see it now, but okay. Like, I have to scale it back sometimes in certain areas, but that does not mean I have to scale it back everywhere. And that's what I tend to do. Be like all or nothing. Yeah. Like no potential, all scaled back, or I'm all in on everything. Right. And then it's like, whoa, okay.
And I think that's why like thrifting was such a good hobby for you because
I love it.
It was like low stakes.
Absolutely.
But like fun potential, like life-giving potential.
Yes.
And it's also weirdly enough why you like finding seashells so much. Like,
oh, I've said it's the thrifting of here
like
because thrifting is not very good here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say it is for me? Like if the spark that gets ignited in you that like makes you want to try new things and go after some things is potential, which I would say that this new thing that we're doing is loaded with potential.
Yeah.
Both in its like as a whole, but then individually.
Yeah. I would say that there's an element of that's true for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, as well.
Specifically in like
which is where again we can be we're either a great team or we're a team either way.
100%.
But we're either like
we're in covenant together, baby.
I love it. Yeah. Much unlike Tim and Kylie. Yeah. But who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know what their potential is.
Yeah.
I see it, but can't unsee it also. I don't know. I'd say that. I would say there's an element for you that is like literally just the new.
100%. Yeah.
Like if something is just new and different, that is the spark.
Yeah.
Like you want to try new things, not because you're over the old thing or because you dislike it or like, you just are literally excited to try new things.
And I would say even specifically in sort of like the physical realm.
Like the fitness stuff.
Like
yeah, that's always, or at least as long as I've known you.
Yeah,
that's
it's always just been like, oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. But I would say that like you look for new things. You seek out new music.
That's true.
Weekly.
Yep.
You say, there's this,
trying to find a
there's
new
this
show.
new game or there's this new that, or I was reading about this thing or, like the new and not in like a shiny, flashy, like everything has to be new, but just like,
I'm curious and like you call it because like actually it's funny, Jeff has mentioned this before. Like I'll send him something. I'll send him like something I found online or some like business tool. And he's like, you're the only person that beats me to find out about stuff at times.
Yes.
And it is because I sort of just like, I like to explore but maybe the root of it is potential as well. Like I think what is out there that has great potential that I'm just on the cusp of discovering that I'm going to love.
Yeah.
And so that's why with specifically like fitness, it works well. Cause like, what's the potential out there to like really help me stay in shape? What's that next thing I'm going to unlock and fall in love with? And
again, just like there's two sides to every coin or whatever, like there are times where you have to keep it in check where it's like, hey, the next new thing is not going to solve your problem. If you can't stick with this one, you know, and where for me, it's like, I can't just see potential in everything, but then never actually do anything.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah. That's like a good conversation, I think, to have with a loved one or someone close to you is obviously we want rhythm.
Yeah.
We crave rhythm. Rhythm is a technology that helps us unlock the fullest to life, I believe. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
But within that rhythm, there should be newness.
Right.
And so what is at the like root? What is
that spark for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Like what's the chair behind?
And can you boil it down to a single word like new or potential or whatever, instead of just like, I like when I do whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, can you get far enough behind in that to realize, oh, it's actually this?
Yeah. Cause like for some people, I'm sure it's travel, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like the spark isn't necessarily the travel. It's like
probably something
like seeing that you feel new things or I don't know. So that's really good. I really like that idea of you guys having that conversation. I would love to end this way. So again, we have people staying. I feel like after one of our conversations, you mentioned something that you felt like you had like a really clear picture of.
Yeah.
And I think that is worth sharing.
Okay.
Because you often talk about how when you feel like you have words quickly, it's not from you, it's from the Lord.
Yeah.
And so you had words quickly and clearly, and you didn't get your chance to share them because the conversation kind of shifted and never went back.
Yeah.
And so I feel like sharing them now on the podcast would be both good.
I don't exactly remember the full context of like how we got there, but we were having a conversation and we were talking about kind of sort of what we're talking about now with like this rhythms and sameness and all that kind of stuff. And the question was posed of like, how do you keep a rhythm in a family and so like picture myself holding like a coin, like when you want to make the most of every opportunity, but you also on the flip side feel this call or this desire to like live a quiet life. And I get that. Like when he said that, I was like, oh, totally. You know what I mean?
That is a challenge.
That is absolutely a challenge.
There's tension there.
But what I heard immediately and quickly and clearly was, what if the quiet life is the opportunity? And so I had this moment of like, you know, and I'm not trying to like nitpick the coin. I understood what he was saying and it was a good conversation, but it was like to put those on opposite sides, I think is a little bit unfortunate. I think you're doing yourself a disservice because there is so much opportunity and so much potential and so many good things in a quiet life. I don't think that you have to choose to live this quiet life and then therefore not make the most of every opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I think that the quiet life, it's at least one of the opportunities. I don't know if it's like the only one.
100%.
You know? But yeah, I've kind of kept thinking about that myself too.
I mean, that just goes along with our conversation. Like it would be like, you know, I want to live with like a rhythmic life, but I also want newness. Like we don't need to put like, those on opposite ends of the coin.
Yes. Like what's the phrase I'm looking for? It's late. My brain is like, what? It was the question that, somebody asked one time in our question box about just like, what if I want to just like do something sporadic or random or not the phrase I'm looking for. Spontaneous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like what if I want to be more spontaneous in life? And I'm like that again, that's going with the thinking that like it's either spontaneous or it's rhythmic.
Yeah.
Like it's one or the other,
Mhm.
you know, instead of it being, I think it's both. It can be both.
Be both and.
What?
Yeah.
Almost always.
Almost
Literally
always,
almost
yeah.
always. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
No notes.
no notes. We did it. And we just did something that we've never done.
Yeah.
Halfway through this episode, Sunny came up and has been in this bedroom the whole time.
Yeah.
So I want to just give Brooke a congratulations
For
because
still thinking.
I know how hard that is for you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Sunny,
Mm.
for being quiet while we recorded. We really appreciate that.
I mean, let's be real. I'm mostly thinking about Tim and Kylie.
Yeah. I mean,
So if I seem
I'm
distracted,
also
that's
I'm also
why.
impressed
That's
that
why.
you could push through and
Mhm.
get through that. For those moms out there, remember what we said earlier. We'll put the application in the show notes.
Apply. And
apply,
then
yeah.
in the application, let us know what you need.
Let us know,
Yeah.
and we'll try to move. If it's within our power,
Yeah.
we will try to make it happen. Obviously, we can't. You know,
Right.
there's limits to our
Right.
TJ's,
Can't give it all away
yeah.
and pay for your ticket.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There's limits to TJ's most extreme extravaganza
Mm-hmm.
Christmas awesomeness.
Rah, rah, rah.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I
That
like
felt
rah,
fun.
rah, rah. Yeah, that was good.
Got some cheerleader vibes to it.
But yeah, we got some exciting episodes coming up.
Mhm.
We're gonna go deep into some of the integrated stuff, and then we have an episode that I think is going to inspire. It's just a really cool story, and it's kind of the way it came about is really cool, and I'm really excited to sort of share that story.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're just stoked at what we have to come. That's it. That's all we got. I got to get to upload this thing because again, we're recording
Minutes before it
before
comes out.
goes live because that's
That is
just
life.
kind of week we had.
Yeah.
But as always, we really appreciate you guys making us a part of your week. We love the butt clencher community,
Mhm.
and we've gotten to hang with a few
Love
butt
the
clenchers.
butts.
Love the butts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. Okay,
I love you. Bye.